Hey guys, in this video we'll build a React application which looks something like this. So what exactly in this application does is I'll give you a sample and then we'll build this feature from scratch using React. So in this application what you can do is you can drop the files into this box. It's like drag and drop the files into this box. So and you will be able to display the contents of the file below when you drop the file here. So in this particular video we'll be focusing more on the CSV file. So we'll be able to drop CSV file here and all the contents of the CSV file will be displayed below. So a little disclaimer, in this video we'll not focus much on the formatting and the CSV part. We'll just the main focus of this video is to learn how to build a drag and drop feature in React. So let's go ahead and find a CSV file I already have a CSV file which I'll be using to show you how this application works. So first of all, let's open this CSV file here and see what exactly is there in the CSV file. So in this CSV file we have two columns, SKU and quantity. It can be any form of data. I just randomly chose the CSV file to build this feature. So in this file, as we can see, there are a total of 177,000 rows of data and there are two columns. So I'm going to close the CSV file. Now what I'll do is I'll drag and drop the CSV file into this box and let's see how this feature works. So as you can see, when I drop this file into this box, all the content of the CSV files are displayed at the bottom. And if we inspect this and check our logs, we can see that we have received all the data of CSV file in the form of an array of objects. So this also has 17,000 rows, and let's see how to build this feature in React from scratch. So I already have a React application which is running here. So I'll go to the code part. I'll go to app.js where we'll start editing this application and build something similar to this. So first of all, let me remove all the default content here and let's just say hello world, just to check if everything is working fine. So as you can see, hello world is here, so everything is good. Now what we will do is on this div tag, I'll say drop files here. So we can see drop files here, and let's apply some CSS to this. So first of all, I'll say the minimum height of this div tag should be 300 pixels. Font size, we can make it 50 pixels. We can align the font in the center and we'll give a border to this div tag, which will be, let's say border width is 5 pixels, solid black. So now all we have done is we have just given some styling to this div tag, and this is how it looks here. Now we'll try to bring this into the center of the page somehow. For that I'm going to use a margin, let's say 10% from the top, 1% on the remaining sides if I save it. So now this is came into the center. Let's not worry about this color too much and let's start building the drag and drop feature on this div tag. So in order to drag and drop things here, what we need to do is we need to apply two event listeners to this div tag, and these event listeners would be on drag over. Let's say I'll say what I'll do is I'll just console log right now, and later we'll write what exactly we want to do on drag over. So I'll say dragging over, and on drop I'll say just console log that something is dropped. So when I save this, let me inspect this application, check my logs. So as of now we can see nothing here, but if I drag and drop my chosen file, which is CSV file, if I drag here, as you can see it's saying dragging over, and when I drop it, nothing happens. It just downloads the file that's the default event of the browser. So in order to prevent the default actions by the browser, let's try this again. If I drag and drop it here, the browser just automatically downloads this file, and we can't see our logging here, which should have logged dropped when we dropped the file here, but in fact it doesn't log the drop and it just downloads the file from the browser. So to fix this we need to do something else. So on both the events we'll add one line here which will say event.prevent default. So what this will do is this will prevent all the default actions of the browser, and it will just do what I tell this event to do. So I'll put this same line on this event as well. Now let's try dropping this file again. Now if I drag and drop this file here, when I'm dragging the file, it just says dragging over. As soon as I drop the file, it says drop. Now but when we drop the file, what we want is that the contents of the file should be downloaded here in the console, and it should reflect on the screen. We should be able to see contents of this file on the screen. So in order to do that, we don't want to console log dropped. In fact, we want to console log the contents of that file. And how to do that, we can say event dot data transfer dot files. If we console log this and try again, now if I check, I can see the file here. I can see the file name is inventory.csv and it's a text and CSV file, but still I'm not able to see the contents of the file. So in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to open this file. So to do that, I'll convert this into an array, and then I'm going to map over this array. Each file in this array, I'm going to convert this file into text. So let text is equal to file dot, and then I'm going to log the text. So if I do that and try again, if I drop the file here, now you can see it returns the details of the file, and it returns the file in the form of promise. So in order to resolve this promise, what we will do is we'll turn this function into async function, and we'll await this text. Now let's try this again. Now if I drag and drop this file, I'm able to see the entire file is printed here in the form of the text. But what I want is I want to convert this entire file into an array or the object, which I'll be able to use in JavaScript to display the contents on the screen. So to pass this file into this text format into array, we need to install another package. So what I'll do is I'll go to command line, I'll go to the directory and install a package which is called npm install papa parse, and I'll import parse function from papa parse. And now what I can do is I can first I converted that file into in the form of text. Now I will convert this text into an array by using parse text, and I'll say headers to true. If I say headers to true, it means that it will be able to read the name of the columns, the SKU and the quantity. So once we pass this, now instead of logging the text, I'll log the result. So when I save it, I'll go back, I can see some errors here. Fix that. Now let's try again. I'll drop this file here. Now you can see the entire data is displayed not in the form of text, but in the form of array of object which contains SKU and quantity. Now we need to display this data on here on the screen. So to do that, we'll create one state variable. For that we need to import use state from create, and I'll create a state variable called data, and I'll make it as empty array by default. But when I receive this result, I'm going to set data to result. When I save this, now what I'll do is I'll set data to actually result dot data, because all the data is in this data. What I'll do, I'll set data to result dot data, and once I set it properly, I'll display I'll enclose this into the opening and closing tags, and I'll display the contents of data variable here. I'll map over data. For every item in data, I'll return the data in the form of div tag. If we actually see here, the data is in the form of each item in this array is in the form of an object which contains SKU and quantity. I'll display this item dot SKU dash item dot quantity. I'll save this. Now I'll try dropping that file again here. So now you can see once I drop the file here, all the data is shown below here. This data is same as the contents in the CSV file, but we can improve the layout of this data as we want. We can write some CSS, and let's try and do that. We can actually align this data to center. Now it moves from the side to the center, and we can increase the font size to 40 pixels so we can see clearly these contents of the CSV file. So let's try how this is working. Let me refresh it, and let me actually close the console now. Now I can just drop the file here, and this entire file will be loaded below. So this is a very important feature that might be useful in your applications. Let me know in the comments if you like this video and if you like to learn more about React and more libraries and the features, and continue watching this channel. Thank you.